Alright. In accordance with the COPPA, this channel is not intended to be viewed by children under the age of 13. Your discretion is advised. Hey everybody, Giant King Mark here, and welcome to part 9 of Let's Play Ash of God's Redemption. Last we left off, well, Lo Feng and his crew have just gotten out of there, and they've just got a new friend. Meanwhile, Hopper just made his way to the Arc Men here. Unfortunately, he just missed Thorn. He was able to get some news though from the Arc Men here, and that there's another piece of the puzzle here. So, where are we gonna go? Well, let's see. Knowing that, let's go with the mushroom trap, because there's apparently some story lore about this. Besides, it'll lead us through the salt mines to Ursus anyway. You notice the trembling in the bushes. You investigate and find a bear cub. The little fellow huffs and puffs, trying to untangle itself from the thorny branches. Let's free the little guy. Carefully, you untangle the branches and extract the exhausted animal. The rescued cub draws smiles for your companions, but what do you do now? I'm bringing the bear cub with us. You wrap the cub in a blanket and attach the bundle to your saddle. Someone calls the cub your hairy bastard. The fierce glare cannot stop a roar of laughter. Ensuing jokes put your companions in a good mood. Sweet! You got a bear cub! Alright. Oh, we're day 13. Let's make our way to Ursus. You hear a piteous roar coming from the near bend in the road. You raise a hand, signaling your companions to proceed with caution. You ride forward and see a roaring she-bear roving by the edge of the woods. She looks like the mother of the cub you found. You decide to set the cub free. With utmost care, you remove it from your bag and set it to the ground. The cub sits on the grass confused, then follows his mother's call, answering with a tiny roar of its own. Soon the animal family is united. It's so touching that even you're moved, to say nothing of companions. Well, we got more, morale. And we made it to Ursus. Well, let's get to the city. So this is what the city looks like. Kind of got a bit of a Roman feel to it. Let's see. Alright. Let's go to the gate. Finally, the northern Geronan fortress comes into view from behind the trees. Ursus used to be a small settlement above the salt mines, but has grown because of the men here. The palace, walls, and towers cover the entire hill. Is the cure to the wretched plague within? Your daughter distracts you from your thoughts. Dad, why do you look at the city as if it's new to you? You look to the city as you answer her. I'm trying to read the flags on the steeples. They tell you which rules are in effect and what's going on in the kingdom. Bracanan flank, for example, would be a signal for a large-scale war. Hod butts in. The flags are the first thing I saw. From what I can tell, I do well to remain Hod for now. My grandfather's in town, and we've had a disagreement, to put it mildly. Lena rolls her eyes. So what? It's not bad to be Hod, especially if you survived all this. On the other hand, Prince Ho would never have faced such perils. You turn to Hod. Adventure and peril are tempting until you face them in real life. It's one thing to listen to the stories in a tavern, but living through a tale of wounds and blood is entirely different. The smart thing to do would be to find a safe hideout and lie low. Hod chuckles, and this coming from a man who has more scars on his body than I've had drunken revels. You interrupt the soldier. Enough talk. Hold your tongues until we're at the gate. I'll speak to with the guards, and Hod, try to be unassuming as possible. The commander of the guard approaches you and requests to see your papers. He leaps through them, eyeing your party suspiciously. Hod especially. Oh shit. Oh shit. Check. Checking the papers. Trelby and the Albius, I see. Well, your papers are in order. Please see me one by one. By Geronan law, your swords must receive a seal at the gate. You may remove the seal only upon leaving the city. And you, boy, you'd make a fair bit of coin at the court of the Geronan king. You're spitting image of his grandson. I hear that quite often, but I'm afraid I must decline. It would be unwise of me to rely solely on a monarch's grace. What if I happen to fall out of favor? I'd rather avoid the courts and throne rooms as much as possible. You sure your face? You shouldn't show your faces in the palace if you don't expect to find yourselves in the king's good graces. I know all your names, travelers, so it's time I introduce myself. Shek, commander of the guard, at your service. Where you serve your services beyond the walls of Ursus? City walls are hardly can only stop the plague. Whether it's a village or the capital itself, the great disaster cares not. Poor peasant or wealthy noble, it matters not. Huh? Or, Commander, you'd rather drop on your own metal if things go awry, am I wrong? Well, your papers seem in order. You even have a mark from the stockade by the Ark. How's my old pal Veganut holding up? He's having a rough time. Masked warriors are launching attacks from the stockade. It happened twice while we were there. We helped Vegan to push them back, but he won't hold out much longer if help isn't sent. So that's how it is. We haven't had even a single despair hit for him. Damn it, we just sent reinforcements. Welcome to Ursus, gentlemen. I'll not detain you a moment longer. Alright. Small shop. Let's check what we can buy. Maybe we can get something out of this. Healer's bag. Ooh! Oh, that's... I will grab that. An amulet. Heirloom ring. Yes! We're getting this. We need the Strixes anyway. Time acceleration. I think I'll save that for later. But we got a healer's bag at the very least. Where's... no, teak. Let's check out this inn and hope to God we don't screw something up. No! Okay. Yes. Well, we don't need anyone for this, but we do it by having this will at the very least be useful. Heal 2 levels of injury per day. Then again, Ramlin does seem like the healing kind of guy. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and find Hod. Hod's been on edge ever since you entered the city. It would be a good idea to see what's gone into him. I found this article about Knights of the Republic and how it talked about how the Jedi were portrayed as... we all, like, assumed that the Jedi were basically, you know, like, guardians of justice and peace, but Knights of the Republic revealed they were capable of doing some morally questionable things, and I actually admit that did happen in the game, and it was actually pretty cool. You've been a bundle of nerves ever since we arrived in Ursus. Aren't they afraid they'll notice you? Cover your face with a rag or something. No one will bother looking at you. Shucks already noticed me. What could bring the commander of the guard down to the gate, I wonder? I didn't even understand what you were talking about. I think Shuck offered to lend us a hand, and Hod, the proud boy, turned him down. Not the best idea if you ask me. At least Shuck didn't give us away. Don't you understand we're at his mercy? Maybe he's trying to profit by selling me out to my grandfather. What's done is done. You just need to be more careful next time. How'd you manage to get into a fight with your grandfather anyway? Same as all his other grandkids. Stepping out of line gets you more than you would bargain for. Even my dad tries to stay out of Grandpa's sight. That's why he hid me away and is lying low himself. Do royal families not teach their children to respect their elders? It's not just your well-being they should be on your mind, but that of the whole kingdom. I've kept to myself until I was 17. Then they got the idea to marry me off to a Gabonan princess. She was 15 years older and ugly as a reaper. I didn't want to spoil the Geronan bloodline with generations of hideous heirs. Oh man, I've got no more questions. I've seen that princess of yours. I'm still having nightmares. Your father ought to give us a handsome reward. I mean, by protecting you, we're protecting the whole of Tirana. I cannot even imagine what the Gabonan princess must look like, but 15 years older, holy crap! I mean, I know they give daughters off to when they are of marrying age to older gentlemen, but wow! That's the first time I've ever heard of reverse. Sorry, I'm still kind of surprised by this. Okay, I'm gone. The reaping is upon us. Shouldn't you get back to the palace? If my father were here, maybe I would have risked it. I won't be going in front of my grandfather alone. I've been sent to join the Albius company to sort myself out and learn to respect my elders. Can't exactly get up and leave, can I? Old Carter's not cruel enough to execute his own grandson now, is he? If we don't part ways now, you're likely to take a straight arrow to the head. That'd be the end of me. Oh, I'll be off the hook, but if my grandfather realizes it was you who got us out of Albius, and then dragged us from one end of the kingdom to another, you'll have something on the line. My pleas to the king will fall on deaf ears. We need to go through to my father if we want to sort this out. Alright, I get it. I've heard enough about how much the king of Tirana values the lives of others. I won't be risking my neck. Well, won't you get us into trouble? Well, why would I? I don't want any trouble. I'm good at following orders and keeping my nose clean. I'm concerned your father might send a search party or two. Since you're not home yet, he might think that I'm holding you hostage. That is exactly why sending me away isn't the brightest idea. If I remain by your side, I can put in a good word for you during the inquiry. Makes sense. You should stick with us, I suppose. Just don't get yourself killed. We still got some unfinished business. Loyalty increased. Hod. Let's check out the men here. Guard, stop you at the men here. No trespassing! Sorry, but those are the temple's orders. Fret not. It's far from the first time we've closed it off. Just let it regain its power and it'll start healing people again. For now, it's off limits. Lai pulls you aside. Perhaps we should ask the local monks about this. Who knows? They may grant us passage in return for a favor. Though they might request that I remain at the temple. Yeah. Bye, let's go. You ponder whether getting to the men here is worth the risk of sending Vi away. The local abbot will, of course, try to retain the wandering monk, but it might be unwise to let such an opportunity pass you by. Let's go. Pat behind the shoulder. Let's up all the temple servants. What do you say? Besides, I require your assistance. We should leave and try to find some other way of saving ourselves from this reaping. We might still be able to find an active men here. Well, the man here is a bust. We can go to Teak's shop, or... Burnt down house. A burnt down house draws your attention. You inspect it and other houses nearby. What kind of battle took place here? Glenda looks around. Why do you think it was a battle? A broken door and some shattered windows? Seems pretty normal during a fire. You chuckle. And why would the firefighters besiege the house? See the arrows stuck in the walls by the windows? And all this blood on the pavement? They didn't even try to wash it off. It was just maybe less safe than I thought. Glenda looks around. And here I thought I was wondering why the streets are so empty. Almost no travelers at the gate too, but the town's swarming with guardsmen. What's going on here? It's already over. You correct her. Otherwise, they'd not have let us into the city in order to steal our weapons. We need to ask locals what happened. Okay, let's try talking with Unda. We did promise to go there. You find Unda's house and knock on the door. There's no answer, but the door slowly swings open. You enter. The house seems empty, but the door to the courtyard is open. You feel like you should be on your guard. Odd, watch the entrance. No telling who else might want to try to pay us a visit. I don't like it here. What's the smell? Potions? Alright, let's check the courtyard. If Unda isn't there, it means we missed her again. Oh boy. Oh, hello. You see a woman by the stone table in the courtyard. She notices you and flinch. If you're looking for Unda, she's not here anymore. I'm her daughter Philia, but I don't deal in healing or fortune telling. Please leave. Let us forward. Cheetah sent us. She told us Unda could offer help. She also asked us to tell you that, the source should be preserved. Philia closes her eyes for a moment and then looks to the table. You draw closer and notice a message chalked onto the stone. Behind you. You hear a scream coming from the inside and turn sharply. Ents swarm from the house in droves. You ready your weapons and notice that Philia is gone. Perhaps it's for the best. She's just getting in your way. Alright. Oh crap. Hard. I know having Archer would be good here, but actually, you know what? Yeah. Krieger, you're out. Let's roll. I think I had auto battle on. Let's rock. So while this is all going around, I can just talk about some stuff. I've been playing a lot of Greedfall lately. Well, I managed to at least get to the part where the Thorn guard tries to kill you, betray you. But I did that before I did the other quest for the cures and helping out Talame. Well, I did help out Talame and managed to convince them to accept the words of their founder, which I will admit is freaking cool, considering the fact that I basically just considered that their faith is more part of an Omni faith. And I also helped out with a bit of the Bridge Alliance, but I went back to talk with them because apparently there was a secret thing you had to talk with them and you'd be able to get some missions afterwards to improve their relationships. But I will admit, Greedfall is a fun game. Very addicting too. You should try it out sometime. I mean, you guys should really try it out sometime. I mean, it's free right now on PlayStation Plus, so get it. Also, I found out what the PlayStation Plus games for February are. I'm not gonna lie, I did not expect freaking Control Ultimate Edition to be available. I thought it was just gonna be the regular version. I'm literally just surprised by that. But this is actually good because with the Ultimate Edition, you get all the DLC, and you'll be able to get a free upgrade to PlayStation 5 when you have it. Although you won't be able to transfer saves, which sucks. Then again, having a free game for PS5 is pretty dang good too. So there's that. Concrete Genie I've been wanting to try out. I really wish that they would port Horizon Zero Dawn already. I mean, Horizon Zero Dawn could be one game, but as for another game, I don't really know what to try. What to try, honestly? I mean, there's a lot of good games out there that could use a bit of that could be free. I mean, I played a bit of Sakuna. Let's see if they actually take it back. Ark Survival Evolved wouldn't be that bad of an idea to get the game. Like, maybe Ark with all the DLC installed onto it. Like, I'd be okay with that. I mean, thinking about it, it does seem like a nice idea. I wonder when Terraria is gonna get the 1.4 update. I really do like this game. I kind of want to find a novel series about this now. Angry Outburst. You rush into the house after the battle and find a hog leaning against the wall. He sits in a pool of blood, a blade shark stuck in his chest, and ends with a knife protruding from its eye lies nearby. No! Wait, he was in my party. How the hell did he... Hot smiles. Managed to get him. Whispers. Bastard didn't know who he was dealing with. Delia pushes you away. She's holding some kind of flask. Let me through. The wound's severe. Don't get in my way. Get out of here. You leave Hod and kill Philia. A healer, as luck would have it, returns to the backyard. You look over the ants' corpses and wonder if you should leave by now. Will the gods show the prince mercy? The healer interrupts your thoughts. Philia looks exhausted but fulfilled. He'll live. It may take a week to sleep it off, but he'll be okay. You'll need to find him a good healer, though. Fixing him up was a bit tough. Definitely not a job for amateurs. Many thanks for saving me are in order. We should thank you. If we're done with the pleasantries, I got a couple of questions for you. What were the ants doing here? Hiding. They were here for several days. They weren't going to kill me, but they wouldn't let me go either. I cooked for them, dressed their wounds, and diverted those who came sneaking about. If I hadn't made myself useful, they'd have killed me right away. Probably still would have eventually. Hey. They were lucky. Bunda's house would be the last one guards would check. From what I've heard, many would find your mother intimidating. Some even say she's a witch. Why'd your guests leave the door unlocked? You'd have to bring them back to life to get an answer. Perhaps they want to practice and a bit off more than they could chew. In any case, they're gone. Such fear they cost me. Let me catch my breath. Did Unda teach you healing? If you'll keep quiet, I'll tell you this. There is no Unda. Never has been one. I did all the healing. Unda was a kind of scarecrow. I fed the citizen rumors of a witch, so most people avoided my house. That's all I really wanted. Amazing. So it was you who started the rumors. You pretended to be your daughter. Very clever, I'll grant you that. The only other option is to become a court physician. The king collects everything of quality. There are more temple servants in the palace than fleas on a stray dog. You know how they treat healers like me? You don't have the Inquisition here like in the north, but they'll surely make life miserable for me. What source was Sheila referring to? There is no simple explanation. It's all foreign. The reapings, the reapers. This land used to have a power all its own, but it's dormant now. Very few still possess it, but it lives in your daughter. Sheila does not make mistakes. Are you saying my daughter is special in some way and requires protection? From whom? Or what? From those who seek her power, or wish to destroy it, or use it for their own ends. Do not ask me, just protect your daughter. Who's Sheila? I cannot expose her secrets, but I will tell you this. She's my mentor, my guardian, and more. If she says something, you better listen. She didn't say much. If you're a student, have you any counsel to offer? What should I do? How can we cure the plague? Is it even possible? Can we hope for divine assistance? Do not ask for any divine intervention, for the gods give not. The menders often know cure when reap time is upon us, as they absorb the poison from the air. There are other stones hidden but protected. They offer salvation. You must go to Opakam as soon as possible. Great. Thanks, though. I learned a lot. What are you going to do now? I don't know yet. I need to wrap my head around it. Will you let us stay and rest? Wait. What's that noise up there? You've gotta be... As you enter the house, you hear a muffled voice. Thorn Brennan, by the order of the king, you are under arrest. Open the door, we'll knock it down. Don't even think about fleeing. We have guards outside and at the neighboring houses. You turn to Philia. Can you lead us out of here, or at least save my daughter? Do you remember Chila's advice? Philia bites her lip and thinks for a moment. No, I can't leave everyone out, only Gleda. Give me your hand, girl. Time is of the essence. Gleda hesitates for a moment, then meets your solemn gaze. She nods and follows Philia into the courtyard. You watch your daughter walk away, then take heart into your arms and out into the street. A whole crowd of guards, mercenaries, and other soldiers wait for you. Besides the commander stands Brand Vici. He grins with malice when he sees you. Prince Ho perished. No, he's only wounded. Guards! Lift him up carefully and take him to the palace. Oh, Thorn, pray that he lives. We've no proof of your other offenses just yet, but if the prince dies, there's no denying your role in that. In that case, we should say our goodbye. Shek. Whatever happens to the prince now, there's no hope of a fair trial for my other offenses if Bran has a hand in this. You listen to him, Shek. And you call yourself a commander? Search the house. He had his daughter with him. She's hiding somewhere. Find her. Teach her what to make soup. No, I doubt any woman would have you. Boys, lead the prisoner to jail and shoo away the onlookers. The guards separate you from your companions and lead you away. You hear Bran swear in frustration. With heavy heart, you follow the guards into a gloomy building. The gates squeak open and you soon find yourself behind bars. The other cells are empty. You decide to rest, but in a couple hours, Bran will return to pay you a visit. That's the thing, Thorn. Rules dictate that allow your relatives to visit you. Grand Vici is technically your brother-in-law, and he insisted that a meeting be arranged. You just indulge him, alright? At times, even family has to be avoided. This is one of those times. Turn to face Bran. Bran, come to mock me? Aren't you afraid, Bran? After all, I'm either shackled or beaten half to death. You find it funny, don't you? Well, I've got some news that'll turn that smile upside down. Some of it directly concerns your fate, and the rest of it is about your son, your daughter, and your father-in-law. Where, oh where should I start? Tell me about Macht. Macht has been hanging around the Odolin King's court, hasn't he? Don't you know that he took a small detachment of Phrygia to assist the Crown Prince of Visana? Despite a shining display of courage, he was finally captured by cannibals. My dear Thorn, man-eaters! You lie! Oh, why would I ever do such a thing? It's hardly a secret and easily proven. Word from Phrygia spreads fast. Oh wait, you're in prison. Not sure how I could have forgotten that. Well, I guess I'll just have to take my word for it. Well, whatever. What do you want to hear next? Staket Vici. My papa and I were sad to learn that my dear sister has, how should I put it, passed on. And that's probably old news to you. If she's still with us, you wouldn't have had Blood Albus without her. Nevertheless, Count Stakti Vici grieves deeply over the loss of his daughter. Tenor's death too hit him hard. He was our family's servant for years, after all. Which reminds me, have you any idea who might be behind the slaughter at your house? Only you and Glenna were spared. But that's suspicious, don't you think? Nikki's death is no fault of mine. Don't want to hope for the news being the death blow of your father. He might be old, but he's a tough with a crack. You're just out to make me the villain, aren't you? At least I haven't killed any of my kin, unlike someone I know. Well, whatever. What do you want to hear next? I hate this guy. I hate this guy so much. Gletta. The actual news is I'll find her very soon. No need to thank me. Families look out for each other after all. Thinking about this poor child's tribulations, I cannot but weep. All alone in the world, no place to go home. Or maybe you don't give two pins about your own daughter. That's good news, actually. You don't know where Gletta is, which means I have no cause for concern. You don't really think I'm not going to reveal the whereabouts of the woman who, along with my son, deprived you of inheritance, do you? Such detestable insulations. Your words wound me. And such a concern with the well-being of my niece. Need I remind you that I am the representative of the Kingdom of Odola and the advisor to the King of Tirana? Perhaps you should ask the executioner to take his time with your head. 3 chops instead of 1 or 5. Our executioner has mastered his craft. Only takes 1 clean cut. He knows full well that I'll send him packing if he doesn't do his job properly. After all, I am commander of the guard here. Never thought I'd be glad to hear those words, but thanks, check. Well, whatever. What do you want to hear? What's my fate? Your fate is no surprise. Prince Triggs of the carrier pigeon requesting you to be detained. And so you have been. Why in the world did you take his son with you? Now the king wants your head, obviously. It's not like he has an endless supply of grandchildren. Brand's right on this one, Thorn. Pray to the gods that Prince Ho awakens before you're executed. Maybe it'll soften the king's heart and he'll commute your sentence for lifelong imprisonment. I hope the gods show mercy and that Prince Ho, gets well soon. Just make sure to find a good healer, someone capable. It seems the axe is already being sharpened for me. No more news for today, Thorn Brennan, or for the rest of your life. See you at the scaffold. Wouldn't miss it for the world. You've really gotten yourself into a bind, Thorn. They need 2 executions just to be even. Triggs' letter also said that you've killed some local guardsmen and townsfolk when you fled Albius. Guess it's as good as the thing you can't die twice. Pity for your companions on the floor below. Though their fate's not sealed yet, they could join the penal company and scrub their records clean with blood. They've been under your command, haven't they? Thanks for the chip check. I'll relay the message during the execution. Now please leave me to my thoughts. I've got a lot on my mind. Sorry, I can't do that. The law states that you're required to bathe. You need to be clean for the execution. Physically, at least. Well, this just got all kinds of messed up. The moment I step out to wash, they give me a cellmate. A girl, no less. Hey, who are you? What are you in for? It's no concern of yours, old fart. May the demons take you away. How foolish of me to hope for solitude in prison. It's rife with morons. Or are you just too shy to take a leak? Go for it, I'm not looking, I've seen enough already. What's that cross on your sleeve? That's the Vici coat of arms. Don't tell me you're Brand's bodyguard. Oh, you weren't just ogling but actually looking. You know your heraldry. Well, wait a moment. Are you Thorn Brennan? That maggot Brand's brother-in-law and arch-enemy? I must be his enemy, considering this. He considers me such. Rivalry, just as affection, is stronger than a family. Till death do us part. You seem to be the loser of this rivalry. You're in prison and Brandon's not. All you can do now is keep calm and think happy thoughts. Can't think of anything happy right now. My wife's dead, my daughter's gone, my son's missing. I think he's in trouble. My country's plagued by the reaping and I'm awaiting execution. And that's just the beginning. Some trouble you got into, you man. Tell you what, everyone's got something to weep about. Dwelling on the simpler things will make you feel better. For example, I hit a certain bastard in the balls. That's a pleasant thought right there. Branvich getting kicked by his own bodyguard? Unbelievable. Let me guess. You're from Raidona, aren't you? You must be an acolyte of the Monastery of Assassins, the abode of the humble, isn't it? What made you serve what did you call him? A maggot? You have a keen eyesight and a keen mind. Is there anything sweeter than freedom? My sister and I were acolytes in a monastery, yes. The only way to leave was to be hired. Ironic, isn't it? My desire for freedom led us to serve Bran. Who knew that he'd turn out to be such a bastard? He started hitting on me. It'd be one thing if he were capable. He's just a soft cock in fancy breeches. He said he'd flog me to death if I started talking too much. I have no plans to stay here much longer. Turn into a bird and fly to the bars? Don't you want to fly away with me? Just say the word. Unless, of course, you're going to be asleep. That's exactly what I'm going to do now. Sleep, so let's conclude this pleasant exchange of ours. You may be right. The soldier's first rule, sleep whenever you can.
Finding the key for a tricky lock is sometimes easier than finding the right approach with a person. Dissonant words are like broken tools.
Chapter 5 with Hopper. I'm gonna be blunt, I do not trust that woman. I don't trust her at all. But we made our way to now we're playing as Hopper, and we need to figure out we need to get to Ursus to save his butt. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it here for today. Let me check the right. I got 4 skill points I need to take care of. Okay. Refined Mastery is upgraded. Wait, 4 skill points to unlock. Oh, I can actually upgrade these now. But I'm gonna go ahead and call it here for today. Next time on Ash of God's Redemption, we're gonna play as Hopper. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and I will see you guys next time. Later.